just a bloke in a bar.
The more you know about rugby league, the less you know about punting.
Yeah, mate, they're not linked.
No, but everyone's like,
They're not
oh,
linked.
fuck, you boys are fucked now. Guru's coming on. I'm like, mate, no one's good at gambling. That's the reality.
Yeah,
No one is good at it.
I truly believe the more you, it's like tipping. Like you would think Joey would win tipping every single year.
He goes the worst.
He goes the worst.
Just on tipping, so I'm coming like so bad in NRL tipping, and I'm randomly in an AFL one. I don't even check. I got a full round on the weekend, and I'm coming first in my league.
Yeah, so that's
what I mean.
That's it.
So
That's
basically, whatever, if you think you know rugby league and you come up with an idea of where to go with punting, do the opposite.
The worse you are at gambling, the more you know about rugby league.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point. That's a great point. Kind of like
Why you're winning.
It's inverse.
probably right. Although Sebo should be winning.
Yeah. Look,
How's the
Sebo's-
great Sebo going?
Mate, he's going all right. He's on struggle street. There's two fucking twins.
He's all on struggle street, if I'm being honest. Is that
Well,
fair?
Well, from a punting sense?
But he's got twins.
So
Oh,
he's
okay, no,
also-
sorry. Okay, we're talking
personally
about real life
struggling.
stuff.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no. Well, it's all linked.
Linked.
It's all linked because he has no sleep and then he can't punt.
Mate, twins? Holy heck. And is his partner like stay at home or does she like part-time work?
They're both sort of trying to do both, but she's still on maternity leave.
Okay.
But she's got a small business, so it's sort of one of those things
Oh,
where
she's a ceramicist, so
You
like,
know.
she's very talented.
it's not that easy.
So it's not
to,
like,
like,
I'll
just
go
go
to
on
work,
full-time
you
maternity
take
leave.
care of the kids
Yeah,
kind of
no.
stuff. Oh, it's kind of a mixed bag. That's tough. It's a tough gig.
Not sleeping.
And he's
that
fucking,
well.
dude, he's pulling some ridiculous hours where it's like, oh, I was up at 3, and then it's like, it's 3 in the arvo, and he's just like,
Some nights he
just
gets
like-
45 minutes sleep.
yeah.
The whole night.
Oh my. So they're colicky, the babies. They're crying a lot.
I think they're
One
just
of them,
a
I
little
think,
bit like
definitely
hard to
is.
settle. And then if you don't get them on the same side, like pattern, it's like one's awake, then you get him to sleep, the other one's
So
awake.
they've split them up.
Has he tried turning the lights off when he gets out of the room?
I don't know if he has actually, yeah.
Well,
Tell him to shush.
he just needs to fucking keep them up all day, just tire them out.
Red lollies
Yeah.
and say, no, and then you turn the light off, you close the door.
Yeah. And
Straight
if they stir, you come in, you go, what did I fucking tell you?
And he needs to work on his shh game.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't have that before I had a kid. I like the shh. That didn't exist for me.
Yeah.
Now, grandmaster.
Or a lullaby.
Or a singer. Yeah, become a singer.
Is there any and listen, I think you're the best person to judge here, but obviously we know that I've been a father for a little bit longer than the other father on the panel. But now, and you know, obviously I've been chastised over the years about using my children as an excuse. Even though it's more a reason than an excuse, but that's all right. But now, Mr. Kemp over here refusing to jump on a live stream with the boys because,
So there's a couple of things there. First thing is he's a dog for not jumping on the live stream with the boys.
Yeah.
But I would say that he hasn't yet missed a day.
That's the key difference.
You know? Like you've...
you need to be, this needed to be
So
way
you're
more
both...
support.
Well, I'm just saying...
Needed way more support.
It's
there.
just-
That was absolutely fucked.
But you were very, very stern in your belief that when you have kids, you'll start to fucking go missing like I did. That was what you said. And we haven't seen it yet. That's all I'm saying.
Now, that's a great point. And unfortunately, that was not what I was looking for when I came to work today. He's yet to get sick. And I don't, listen, I tell you what the excuse may be, Edward. The only thing I can put it down
There's
to...
only one
There's only
thing.
one difference between when I started off with kids and when Kempy started off with kids. And that's good day, baby. Because I also haven't been sick for fucking a hot second. And it makes sense that now your kid... Now, listen, you haven't been to daycare yet, though. Once little Rainey gets to daycare, you might be fucked.
Maybe,
then.
maybe.
But you are on the good
Mate,
day.
you were sick for like 5 years.
Dude, I got...
Once a week, every
I got
week.
hand, foot... I got hand, foot, mouth like one round into the season, I think, one year. And it was like... And I'm
He called me in
from
tears.
Zoom.
He called me in tears. He's like, mate, I've got hand, foot, and mouth. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And you would cry too if it happened to you, motherfucker. It is the most fun. I was
mate, I'm not
I was
saying-
reliving
I'm just
that the
saying
other
you
day. with
called in
Steph.
tears.
It was blisters all over my face and legs, and I had to change my clothes every fucking like half day so that I didn't reinfect myself.
Yeah.
and my throat was on fire.
Listen, I think the impact of saying you've got hand foot actually is worse than the sickness.
Well,
Like,
the perception out there in the public now
because
is
you
that
sound
I'm
like you're
I'm
like a zombie or
freak,
some
I'm
shit.
a leper.
When he told me that, I was like, I actually thought that was extinct.
Yeah, I know.
I immediately thought mad cow where you're foaming at the mouth and
No,
shit.
no, it's like in the permafrost in Siberia
Yeah,
or some shit.
exactly.
Steph wanted me to wear a bell around my foot like a fucking leper so she could hear me coming and get out of the room.
so listeners or viewers, what you just witnessed, you witnessed an attempt at a railroading by
And
Tom.
Eddie fucked it.
And
So-
you know what?
No, fuck
Yeah,
it. Stream
exactly.
fucked.
You
Fuck the
witnessed
stream.
a good, honest Australian being true and blue.
That's how you know when I come on here, I'm sincere, I'm level-headed, I'm articulate, I'm measured. Okay, there's no bias, and I'm straight down the line, man. I'm a straight shooter.
So let's to be clear, I have not pulled out of anything
Except live streams.
that I haven't agreed to.
No.
Yet.
Yeah, we haven't agreed to a live stream.
But you've
in your
dogged,
defense.
but that's still dog, right?
And I've been very succinct. I've been very clear. There's been no muddying of the waters.
Well,
to
you're
give
just
you
a-
an opportunity
you're just
to
a
be able to replace you. Look, you'll never be able to replace me, obviously, but be able to bring someone in.
Just
Well, we've asked twice, and we've been nah twice. Listen,
that's cool. No, it's
did
fine.
it upset us?
Yeah.
Have we gone away from tradition, which was that we would sit down at the first round of every season and we shoot the shit?
That's it.
I didn't know it was a
First-
tradition.
First round of every
wait, it's not
season.
tradition.
No. Oh, okay.
It's not tradition,
Yeah,
is
right.
it? Okay.
Right.
If I hadn't known it was a tradition, I might actually come.
I think you knew it was tradition. Yeah. That's all right.
I'm a big tradition guy.
Conveniently forgot the
No,
tradition.
I respect tradition. I'm a tradition guy.
Well, you don't respect
Well,
tradition.
but you don't. Though.
I didn't know we'd gotten that point yet where we were considered a tradition.
Well, you do.
Been
you
2
do,
years.
Yeah, exactly. That's tradition.
Yeah.
2 years tradition.
Oh my god! I will say
We're
it
not
makes
cut about it.
It makes it more difficult having to drive from the Shire. It does make it.
What
a
if
bit
we
tougher.
send a limousine?
I still got to drive, sit in the car.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
nice. You can sit there and fucking scroll. You can neck beard out. Play some fucking games.
Yeah, bring
My
your
God.
Switch and
I
neckbeard.
haven't played that in a while.
There you go.
Switch, dude.
Bring your Switch, neckbeard.
Trust the neck. Have you guys seen Dune 2 yet or what? No.
I was thinking about that. I reckon I'm going to go on
Do it.
Sunday night.
IMAX? You got to do it in
I'm going to go
IMAX.
Sunday
though.
night after the UFC.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
You got to do it in IMAX though.
And if no one comes with me, so what? But I need to see it. I've not been able to. I've been
Bro.
a busy bore.
It's honestly better seeing by. I saw it by myself. Best
Yeah.
experience ever.
No, I'll do that.
It's fucking unbelievable.
You just seen it once.
Actually, Jarch will
Yeah.
come with me.
Does it come with you?
Yeah, he will.
I was going to say, oh, don't forget 300 UFC card. That's
Yeah.
on KO. That's
Yeah, it
you
is.
can get it on
Only.
KO. You don't even need to subscribe to KO. You can just get it on KO, which
That's
is
right.
great stuff.
Only
So-
on KO.
only on KO as
Only
well.
place to get KO.
And we're doing a live
you go.
stream for it. Oh, that's what YouTube made Judge Streety Eddy. Just a side note.
But if you don't buy this main event, then what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? Seriously, UFC
are you doing?
300. Look, is the card? You know, there could be some.
It's stacked, dude.
Oh, it's okay.
It's stacked. There's some big fights on there.
some
Maybe
big
you could argue the main event is like not the biggest main event of all time, but the rest of the card's pretty.
But
fucking
you know what?
dope.
Cards like this, though, and this is me being genuine. Cards like this usually have the most bangers, whereas the cards with the crazy headlines, a lot of the time they
don't
peter
live up
out.
to
They
it.
don't
Yeah.
live up.
Yeah, they
up
can
to it.
peter.
Whereas like the cards where you're like, should I get it? Should I not get it? They usually have bangers on it, and that's being genuine.
The first fight in the early prelims, which I think you get on the Fight Pass, the early prelims, is Cody Garbrandt and Davidson Figueiredo. Like, that's the first fight of the entire fucking thing. There's 9 or 12 current former champions on the card.
Yeah,
That's like,
Cody Garbrandt, he can bang.
Yeah.
Figueiredo, he can bang. Someone's getting knocked out.
Can and will bang.
They're both banging each other.
Oh, fucking oath they're banging each
Unconscious.
other. Yeah, well.
Have you ever banged someone unconscious?
No.
I've been banged unconscious.
Have you
Shout
been knocked out?
Shout out to Josh Cohen, year 12. He shouldered me into the chin, and I bring it up regularly. And he's like, "Why do you?" I don't even see him very often anymore. He's like, he just hears that.
What,
I
in a
called his
footy
name.
game?
Yeah, knocked me out.
Shoulder charged.
No, I was trying to tackle him, and I went too high, and he off the kickoff, Denon.
You trying to shot him?
No, I wasn't even sure. It was just awful.
Was
technique.
Steph there?
No, I wasn't with her. I was in high school.
Steph was the one where she was it with the soccer?
No,
where she rushed
I
you?
got cut in half by the. I was playing
Union.
Southport, Port. I don't know what the fuck they were, but it's a Western Sydney team, West Harbour, all Islanders, humongous, and then one tiny little white guy on the wing, and I got cut in half by him, and the whole crowd like, oh no! And I was laying on the ground, winded, like, oh, and like they just moved the scrum away from me and just kept playing. and I'm just rolling around.
It's good stuff.
I can imagine you in some of
good
those
stuff.
white pants that come past your footy shorts.
Oh, like the Pomeroys?
The Poms.
No, mate, I tell you what, I get into my Pomeroy.
Oh, the
work-
old school.
I
Pomeroys.
can imagine some Pomeroys.
Well, I get into
knee
my
level.
step 1 Pomeroys now because of chafing. Because step 1s, and this is not an ad, but they're fucking fantastic for that. Like they separate your thighs, like your thighs are trying to fucking punch on, and step 1's like, oi,
Especially those big bad boys.
Let's not do this here. Well,
He's all power.
Fucking big, powerful
Kid's all
things.
power.
big guy.
Big, thick guy.
huge
Big,
guy.
huge, thick guy.
Deadlifted 100 the other day. So
Did ya?
wow.
That's pretty good.
90.
Josh, you did 90.
I did 90. He did
100. So you're an aerobic athlete. You're an anaerobic athlete. You're a power lifter.
I don't even think I'm that. I just think that I'm just like,
He's all frame, mate. He's all base.
yeah, I think I could be.
He's all trunk.
You could be.
I bet I'm not.
So this journey to Six Pack City that seems to be going for a substantial amount. Have you run out of fuel or what?
No, but like, I mean, you don't just fucking fly straight to Mars, right? Like it takes a while. There's fucking stop-offs.
There's a lot to do.
Space
You know, you got to orbit the moon first.
Yeah,
then you
you
got to get a base
slingshot
on the
yourself.
moon.
Slingshot
Then
stuff.
you got to orbit. Then you got to orbit Mars. Come back. Then you eventually work out how to land. Like there's stages. There's tiers. There's stations.
So what station are you guys at for Six Pack
Well,
City?
we're at TRT.
We're base building. I got pretty close last year to being pretty cut, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to bulk back up,
Oh, you went bulking instead. Yeah, that makes sense.
and then recut.
Yeah.
I hurt my shoulder.
Cut.
That threw a spanner in the works because I wasn't able to do much. Shoulders now still sore, but I'm.
Do you reckon
I'm
you're
fighting
just not
through it.
made of the right stuff? Is that a possibility?
No, I don't think that's it. As Eddie said, frame. I'm all frame.
You're framed up?
Oh yeah, dude. Like there's something there.
Big
Well, there
frame
could be.
guy.
Huge frame guy, dude.
Frame and guts.
Frame and guts.
You do have wide shoulders. I'll give you that.
Oh, he's broad.
He's broad. I got snake shoulders. I got like thin shoulders.
Yours dip off.
Yeah.
Bit pearish.
Yeah, a bit pearish. I'd say that.
Like they flow off your traps.
Yeah. Because they're not wide, so the traps look bigger than they really are. If I had normal human-sized shoulders, my traps would just be normal.
What size are you?
Now,
Yeah.
just a large.
Would you be an XL or large?
Just a large?
We've got a
But
present.
we
for
got
you.
with your present.
Not
Oh, yeah.
now, but we've got one
Where
coming.
was coming? We
Oh,
here
okay.
soon.
But we got you an extra.
We're gonna
large.
XL.
But that's all right. Well,
That's all
what
right.
if maybe we put some shoulder pads in
Because we thought you were we thought like you were quite broad. You are quite broad.
No,
You're broader than me.
I'm thick this way.
there? Yeah, you know,
Yeah, you're thick. Yeah, so you're an
he's
XL.
deep.
Yeah, I'm deep. But I'm
broad.
trying to get, I want to get really lean, so I'm not doing any weights anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to get really lean.
Really lean. And how is that because you saw old footage of yourself playing for the Warriors on TikTok doing the rounds when you kicked after the siren to beat Manly?
No, well, that's not the reason.
Oh, okay.
I
How
just
many
wanna
times
feel
did you
free
watch that?
When it got sent to me? Maybe 3.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe 3.
What's the lean process? I'm not asking because I'm interested or like that I want to do it, but I just want to know like what the process
Just a lot of
is.
cardio.
Okay, just
lot of cardio.
Like
Yeah.
two a days, are we talking? Or
Yeah, when I can 2 a days. Tuesday I try to get 2 a day in, and then the weekends I try to do 2.
What's cardio for Denon look like?
So this morning I did some boxing and then some elliptical stuff to ease the knees up a little bit, and then I'll probably go for an hour run the servo, and then that's cardio.
What splits do you do?
Not fast. Like,
tell me.
You're looking at like.
Tell me what you do.
well, tell us.
Yeah,
then.
you're looking at 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So you on Strava?
What?
Strava?
What's that?
Oh, not a big running.
I'm not a big
I'm not a big run guy.
Oh,
No, I've just been a state champion though, but that's all right.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, guy's got a huge head.
Huge head, small shoulders.
That's Denon.
Alrighty, let's get into it, shall we? Oh no, someone's trying to call me. No, they're not trying to call me. Apologies.
Wait,
My
what?
bad. Do not disturb.
Hey.
Bit of respect.
Jeez, apologies, boys. Okay, now the Rabbitohs. Oh, also brought to you by Bloke Beer. Make sure to grab a case of Bloke Beer from your local easy, smooth drinking beer, or if you're on the health run, get some Good Day. Get some Good Day in your guts. I've worked out what it is. Why, because obviously multivitamins have been around for ages, but the reason why Good Day is good, it's the experience. It's the experience. That's what it is.
Well, it tastes good.
Okay, put it this way. So I went to Vegas, and I would never usually take multivitamin because I don't know. There's just something about tablets being in my bag. It's just like, yeah, if I leave it in there, then I won't take it out. I won't put it in the fridge. Whereas this, each morning, I actually look forward to a cold drink of Good Day, and that's what I think. I think it's the experience.
And
That's
it's
lovely.
sachayable, right? So you don't have to carry around tablets. And also, not to get too nitty gritty with the punter and dribbler at home, but the payload of multivitamin
Getting a
you
good
can
load.
actually
Getting a good
it's
load.
Well, you're getting a proper load.
You're getting a proper load. You're getting an actual load. In tablets, you can't get the same loads. In gummies, you can't get the same loads. This is a full, honest, true load.
This is like a big load.
Yeah.
You know? The load we all want.
We don't like little loads.
The load we
you
crave.
deserve.
The load we crave. The load we deserve. That's right.
BeGoodHealth.com.au.
There you have it.
Dribblers, 20% off.
Which, does that work or not? Because it didn't work for me.
It works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you must have a block on my email address then.
We're making you pay full price. We've seen your house.
Well, it's a unit actually, but it's all right.
Penthouse.
Now, Rabbitohs, dramas, Mal Meninga, Wayne Bennett, even Bellamy thrown up.
Bellamy.
Okay, so there's reports that Mal Meninga is in line to be appointed as Rabbitohs interim coach should they part ways with Demetrio. Rabbitohs board has reportedly been presented with a short list of possible candidates, including Meninga, Maguire, Ben Hornby, with the vote for the current Kangaroos being unanimous. Blake Solly has denied this. The idea of a shortlist is complete rubbish. Our only focus is throwing the kitchen sink at a win on Saturday against the Sharkies. Rabbitohs are then expected to go after Wayne Bennett for 2025. So that's okay. So he said no, there's not a shortlist. But at the same time, he wasn't quoted saying it, but like basically saying there's no official review going on. So when someone says there's no official review going on, that usually means, I can't back this up with facts, but it usually means there's a review going on. It's just not official.
Well, because you're saying official. Like, there's either no review at all going on, or there is, and it's not official. So you're not saying, hey, we're looking for a new coach. But that's what you're doing because it sounds like Demetrio not up to it.
Well, he's gone. We all know that. It's official. He's gone. Like, even if they put 100 on the Sharks this weekend, he's gone.
Au fait accompli, if I can be a bit Latin with you.
Yeah, I'd love you to be a bit Latin with me, big boy.
I don't even know if it's Latin, but, you know.
We were talking yesterday, Tom and I. Our immediate response to this was one of curiosity because
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe. We were of the opinion that Mal Meninga more of a man manager than a coach. Okay, he's a fucking boyer of boys, a manager of men, a swinger of willies.
Yes.
Okay.
But also like not in a disrespectful sense either. We have to preface this, but like not a good coach.
He's a boyer of boys, but that could be a good coach.
You got to bring people around you.
Yeah.
But then we started to excavate our thoughts a little more.
Okay, I like that.
And if you read into what the Men's Women's Weekly has been reporting is that it's a bit of an ego issue over there at not Redfern, but once Redfern. That also might be a reason that you're fucking shit now, is that you left your spiritual home. We can get to that. But so if that is true, you could argue that the immortal Mal Meninga of huge Willie fame might be just the man for the job.
He's the most thickest and true maybe of all time.
Well, we were saying we've shaken the great man's hand a couple of times, and it's about 4 hands thick. It's
immense. He just swallows
He
your
knows
whole.
he's got a big thick hand that probably mirrors the girth of his shaft to some degree, but like he's not there trying to break you. He's like, I don't need to crush you here. Some people try and like impress you with their handshake. He's just like, no,
which is an ick.
I'm a big, thick, girthy presence here. And
it's almost like a fatherly handshake to a degree.
Yeah,
it was actually really. I wanted to just sort of nestle into him. You know what I'm saying?
So you reckon he needs to nestle the boys?
I just think if you believe what we've been told, again, this could be completely inaccurate, punters and dribblers, but if you believe what we've been told, if you read between the lines of what Sam Burgess has said since departing, that there might be a bit of coddling going on. Well, and Mal doesn't coddle. He gets in there and goes, okay, we all now know that I'm the biggest Willie in the room. Shut the fuck up and listen.
Look, I think that, like, yes, you could argue coddling or whatever. I don't think it's necessary that. I think sometimes, like,
what about swaddling? Do you reckon they've wrapped him up in a swaddle?
Maybe they need some swaddling.
They might be over swaddling.
Maybe they're birthing him too much.
But I think that sometimes you get, New South Wales Cup or Queensland Cup coaches that are really good in New South Wales Cup or Queensland Cup because they're dealing with essentially like battlers. Every now and then they'll get like a young superstar coming through, but battlers. So it's really easy to go, this is what we're doing, everyone fall in line. But when you're at a glamour club, sometimes when you've got like genuine superstars, like there's no denying Jackie White, and Cody Walker, Cam Murray, Latrell Mitchell, like these are superstar players. And sometimes you need a superstar personality to get the best out of them and set standards.
100%.
And so,
I'll use a Premier League analogy to back you up. when Sir Alex Ferguson departed Man United, they brought in David Moyes, who was at Everton, and he just didn't know how to work the big willy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, there's a story they tell about how out of his depth he was. When Man United came to Australia, he took the team for a team walk up Bondi Beach. Just didn't realise what he had at his disposal.
Yeah,
you know, Wayne Rooney and shit. Like, you can do that with these losers at Everton that no one fucking knows, but when you got the big willies, you need to know what you're doing.
Well, you need to have a big willy.
And so, to your point, I think that lines up.
It takes a big willy to know how to treat a big willy.
Exactly. The superstars are a different kettle of fish.
They
right?
are, and that's why you looked at like Wayne Bennett. He has the charisma, not even the charisma, but
He's got the willy.
He's got the weight of history behind him and the aura to be able to, when he says something, it gets done. And I just think that, I mean, you have to look back. Like, they made a grand final without Latrell. Like, that doesn't get talked about that much. And obviously Latrell, before he was it his hammy injury that he got done that year, or was it the Manu situation?
It was Manu.
The Manu situation. He was playing great footy. But like, for them to get all the way to a grand final without Latrell just shows you how good of a coach Wayne Bennett is and how close they were to winning it. And I just think at South and some of these bigger clubs, unless you're rolling in as one of the big dog coaches with a weight of history behind you,
You can say Big Willie.
well, who knows? Current guy might have one. He just not a big superstar.
I doubt Demetrio's got a willy the size of Mal's.
Could be thick and true. You never know.
Well, I'm just saying,
Don't
if
judge
it
a man
was,
by
the
his-
boys would see it and they'd be like, fuck, all right.
So, and for the listeners, obviously we're using Willie for metaphor for weight of history and aura and
Correct.
superstardom.
No, it's not about penises.
It's got nothing to do with that.
Literally, get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah. Dirty.
And so I just look at the Rabbitohs and some of these big clubs. It's kind of like Brisbane. Kevy Walters, you know, he's like, you could make the argument, Seabold, obviously one of the GOAT PowerPoint presenters. We know that.
Thank you.
But he's X's and O's guy. He's a science guy and all that jazz. Whereas Kevy, really old school, but big Willie. I mean, we're talking, 6 premierships, Willie?
Yeah.
Literally doesn't get much bigger.
It's huge.
Huge Willie kind
And
of
some
stuff.
shit and plenty of shields.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Which equate to a big set of balls.
Yep. So he's the full package, the real McCoy.
Yeah, and so I think some of the bigger clubs, and I know there's some of the smaller clubs get angry when you say that, but it's just a reality. Need a huge personality at the top. I think, and this is definitely what I'm about to say is definitely hindsight hero kind of stuff. But I do look back and I go, Demetrio's inability to get Burgess on side was probably the first example of his inability to wrangle a superstar.
Yep. And he's a club legend, right? Like,
Oh, mate,
Clive
one of the
Churchill
one of the
medalist.
goats.
He's part of the furniture there at Redfern. There should be statues out the front of the club if there isn't already. For him to leave in those sort of circumstances was alarming.
Yeah, and look, doesn't mean that Sam Burgess is friggin' God and he's just going to come back and just go, it's all good. Like, I'm sure he did things that probably weren't the best in the way he handled things. But at the end of the day, if you're a coach, and this is what Wayne Bennett does really well, he gets into a squad, he identifies who is the big willies in these squads, and then he gets them on side, however he needs to, because he knows that filters down. And I just
Do
wonder...
you reckon as soon as he gets into it, like, all right, I'm the new coach, I'm Wayne, how you going? Shower time. Just straight in. All right. Okay.
What are we working with here?
What are we working with here? Everyone turn around, shake it. All right, it's cold water. I just want to see what they do in the cold.
Touch your toes kind of stuff?
That thing's immense. That thing has not shrunk an inch. You're captain.
Immune to cold water.
Yeah, right.
And it's like some fucking... like fringy, he's not even in the top 30, gets named captain.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, I think that when you look back at it and you go, surely Demetrio, looking at that squad and looking at Sam Burgess' influence on that club and, you know, his reps on the board, surely that's his first point of call is like, I need to get Sammy Burgess on side because he's already led this club to a grand final, to a premiership. And I think that, again, this is definitely hindsight. I didn't know this at the time, but looking back, it's like probably first evidence that when dealing with superstars, he probably doesn't have the weight of history and a resume behind him to be able to go, you know. Here's another good example. Seabold and Darius Boyd, famously, I think Darius left the senior playing group. Now, Darius, obviously, you know, I know he's not a superstar like as in a headline guy, but we're talking about Australian, Queensland.
Oh, he was a superstar. He was like a marquee player.
Well, okay, superstar. And so that's Seabold, who didn't have a big resume behind him, unable to, you know, a key player in that squad, get him on board. So, yeah, look, I just think that the Demetrio situation, it probably... it's hard to say this, but it probably was too soon for him to take over such a big club in the Rabbitohs. That's hindsight talking.
Do you want him? Where do you sit on this? And this part of this is more just like I want to hear a sad South fan talk, but like, do you want Demetrio gone? Are you done?
Well, it just seems like everything is pointing that direction.
What do you want?
Okay, I'll get to that. Basically, like I feel mean saying I want someone gone.
Yeah, it sucks. It fucking makes me feel so sick.
Yeah, I've heard, he's apparently like such a great bloke and everything, but ever since, in my opinion, his first thing that he did was get rid of Reynolds, and now the most recent thing he's done is dropping Damien Cook. Like, as a South fan, the lack of respect there is just mind blowing.
But so then, who would you? What like? Didn't something need to change in terms of dropping some stars, or do you think like
Not Cook? He was.
So you don't think Cook's? And I'm not saying Cook isn't. I don't pay enough attention
just
to
for the
South
listeners,
to know who should have gone.
Yeah,
Cook for
these
this-
are good green room stats.
Cook, for the start of the year, essentially has been the best defensive hooker in the competition. He's about 5th or 6th for running meters for hooker. Now, is Cook been at his best? No. Has their forward pack's got absolutely pounded every single game.
Yeah.
So how the hell's Cook supposed to be at his best? And so when you're looking at reasons for dropping, it's the reason why Rabbitohs aren't going well, it's not roster, it's not talent, it's none of that. It's doing the tough stuff. He made 45 tackles, only missed 1 on the weekend in 60 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And just on that roster thing, and now this is why I think maybe he should go, is because I could have kind of accepted last year. Well, I couldn't really, but I wasn't going to say I'm sack him last year because something obviously went wrong. They've got pre-season to sort it out. They haven't sorted it out, and that's unfortunately Jason Demetrio's responsibility to sort out, and it hasn't been sorted out. And to be fair, this is April. May last year was Magic Round. We're almost coming up on a year, and I'm starting to run out of patience.
And he's got a tattoo of a rabbit on him.
Yeah, he does.
Well said, mate.
Are you
Well
going
said.
to get the rabbit removed?
No.
Okay. And look, and maybe I'm reading way too far into it, but even so he has an issue with the Sammy Burgess, who is like one of the greatest all time at the Rabbitohs. And as I said, Sammy Burgess, I'm sure he did things wrong in this situation too. It's not just all on Demetrio. But then also, so Reynolds goes and he starts saying things like, Ilias is going to be the best half this club's ever seen.
No.
That's disrespectful to the history of the club.
And unnecessary, just in the extreme.
Why are you going to
Why
weigh?
the fuck are you saying that?
Exactly. You're just weighing him down with pressure of expectation
And
saying that publicly.
And then dropping him twice.
But then also you're disrespecting the history of the club. Like Reno is part of the history of that club. Arguably,
He also said Blake Taft's going to be better than Clive Churchill, which I thought was just fucking unnecessary. That was extreme.
yeah. So look, it's easy now to sit back and look at all these things that he may have got wrong, but I just look at the current situation. Okay, so Cook starts the year, then Havili, he gets the starting spot, then Havili goes from starting hooker all the way to dropped. Cookie goes back into starting 9. Mamazelis comes in, plays 7 minutes or something. Now he's the starting 9. And at the start of the season, Mamazelis literally extended for 3 more years. So you'd have to assume that he extended under the impression that he was going to be playing first grade. Then there's been reports coming out that he was actually told that he would be playing first grade. And that's because if you're Mamazelis, why would you extend at the club to sit in reserve grade for another 3 years?
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't because he's a gun. And then you look at other things dropping a guy like Tallis Duncan. Unfortunately, there's other guys in that squad that have been playing first grade for a substantially longer time that haven't been playing well, and you choose to drop one of the best young forwards in the competition. That's bizarre.
Is dropping Cook...
Ilias was clearly wrong, even though I was I kind of see it, but it was clearly the wrong decision.
Is dropping Cook almost like...
It feels like the easy out.
That's what I mean. We've got to make a big statement here. We've got to drop someone there's no... I mean, Trell's suspended, but there's no way I'm going to drop Cody. You're almost not dropping the 2 people that people are sort of, I guess, maybe saying you should. And then Cook's I don't know. What I mean?
I don't know why. I understand. This is what I would have done heading into this week. And let's say Trell obviously got suspended. I would have moved Walker to 7. I would have moved Jackie White into 6. I would have kept Cookie in there. I would have had Mamazelis on the bench. And I already said they should have a 2-hooker rotation anyway because you don't want Cookie playing 80 minutes. Anyway, that's beside the point. And I would have said to Cody, I said, all right, mate, we don't need 1,000 try assists. We don't need all that crazy stuff. I just want your hands on the ball. Show me you care. That's all I care about. And then if he doesn't, then I'd say, mate, gave you the 7 jersey. So there's no reason why you can't be well, I'm playing 6, so I'm waiting for my 7 to get me the ball. It's your team. Just show me that you are so keen to be here. And then if he doesn't do that, then you say, mate, like, what do you want me to do? I have to go in a different direction. I'll put you in the 7 jersey. So there's no reason why you shouldn't have your hand on the ball like every second set at the very least.
Would you then, when Trell comes back, would you then put him into the centres, Jackie Boy 6, Cody to 7?
Well,
is there some new throbber who you can put at fullback or something? Is it
Jai
Jai
Gray?
Gray?
Yeah, he's good. He looks really good. It's New South Wales Cup though, so you can't be sure. But
Also
he
got
looks
a Y.
really good.
He's Drive the Y.
Yeah, drive the Y.
Which is a huge tick.
It's a huge rugby league tick. I would have seen how Latrell responded, and also reports have come out. Latrell was quite he was very apologetic to the players. Like basically said to the players, "I'm so sorry for what I've done." I'd track Trell for the next 3 weeks. I'd ask him, "Mate, I need you in this next 3 weeks to make yourself the fittest you've ever been in your life. Like just rip and tear for me." And then I would basically say to him, if Jai's going really well, I'd say, "Listen, man, let's get you in the centres. You don't have to worry about all of the pointing players where they need to go and sets and getting to position on the field. We're just going to give you good ball, and I just want you enjoying footy again and just get the stresses off your mind, all the bullshit that's surrounding you." Because although this year, like the interview was bad by him, the form hasn't been great. I mean, it hasn't been terrible either. It's just a bad brain explosions. The 2 incidents on the weekend were bad, and so those 3 things you look at Trell and go, they're your own fault. But that doesn't change the fact that in other scenarios, he has been unfairly maligned.
Yes.
So as a human being, he's carrying all that extra shit outside of the form stuff. And so you just want to get him happy again. That's the main thing with Trell. Not only happy, but fit. I'd get him happy and fit.
Just on Cook, he got dropped on Tuesday, Arvo, 4 o'clock. It's now Thursday morning. I haven't seen a single person or a single good reason as to why he was dropped from anyone, not even a hypothetical from anyone. There was hundreds and hundreds of spot fires in that club at the moment. And putting Cook into reserve grade isn't solving any of them. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
It feels like the response of someone who's out of fucking ideas. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
And wigging.
Pressure. It's just like, fuck
pressure.
it, I need to do something. Pressure gets the best of almost everyone.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it got the best of Jason. The other problem, unfortunately, for the Rabbitohs, superstars aside, is that their pack's getting fucking butchered every week.
Yeah.
Murdered.
They're getting bitched to high
That's
heaven.
why I don't understand why you would drop Moali as well. Like he had one average game. He's a big bopper. He's young. If you keep Moali in the side, you can at least say to the public, he's super young. We're trying to build towards the future and make him a top tier front rower.
So who are we dropping here then? Who should have been dropped? I know you guys don't like to fucking drop.
No. I definitely. I would have kept Tallis Duncan. Will be starting on an edge for me. Would be starting on an edge, and so it would either be Host or Cheekham would go out of the starting side. Hawkins after the weekend would have been dropped. I would have brought Ilias back in the week after they got pumped when he got dropped because I would have said, you know what, that's not the issue. Bring Ilias back in. And Hawkins hasn't been terrible. On the weekend, he was quite poor, unfortunately. And as I said, I would be saying to Cody Walker, mate, I'm going to put you in the 7 jersey.
Give him the
show
40.
me you care. That's all I care about. Show me you care.
Wouldn't it also be good to see Whiten getting a bit more?
Give him the 6.
Just give him the 6.
Yeah, I'd like to see him at 6. He hasn't been getting that much footy at centre.
And he's been
not
ripping and
enough.
tearing. And I'd another thing that like when it's all going wrong, it's all going wrong. I still have yet to hear from the club what happened with Campbell Graham's surgery situation. And that's just another example of like, give the fans something. Like give them some reason as to why the heart and soul of your side, or at least one of the boys, didn't get surgery. And I'm happy to apologise if it has been put out there, but has the Rabbitohs officially come out and said this is why we didn't get surgery?
I've not seen anything, and I've been looking
because they don't want to come out and own up to a fuck up. That's what I would think. Now let's address the woo-woo for a second because I think it's important. You've left the spiritual home of Redfern. You were there for your entire existence.
Yes.
And about the same time as the collapse.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That is 100% true.
Jeez, this could be
I
like...
can't help but feel...
There's a bit of vibe there.
Like that could be linked.
Like, you remember there's like those baseball...
You've lost your way.
Those baseball curses where it's like the curse of the Bambino or some shit. You got like 100 years without ever winning something. Like,
Babe Ruth won. That was one.
You know, like this could be like that you left your spirit just wandering the Redfern halls and you guys are fucked now for the next 100 years.
Yeah, well, ever since we've left there, it doesn't look like a club that has 100 and whatever years of proud history. It looks like a new club with, as I said before, spot fires absolutely everywhere. And
You look
begging
like a
to be put out.
DMC, to be honest. I don't want to disrespect
Look like
you,
a
but
club
you
that
look
came into the NRL in 2002.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You look like the Titans sometimes.
Yeah.
No
Emerged.
disrespect. You look
Yeah.
like
Well, we're sitting below the Titans.
yeah.
You're sitting below everyone, buddy.
You're playing soulless rugby league. Soulless.
No, it's madness.
And the team you've got on paper, you shouldn't be coming dead last 5 from what the last 18 games.
5 from
is that
18.
Is that where we landed?
Yes.
While we're on Jais as well, you're missing Jai Arrow.
Oh, you're
Oh,
missing
yeah,
a Jai.
missing
Jeez,
Jai
you're
Arrow.
missing
Maybe the
Jai.
Jai at the back is what you need.
Yeah, that's what you are. You are seriously, you're a Jai short and possibly 2 Jais short.
Mate, there's a strong argument to be made that you're 5 or 6 Jais short. Go out and buy Jais.
Yeah.
Or with different spellings as their name.
Oh, no, that would be, well, yeah, exactly. You got JYE, JAI.
Jai Opatai, I think he's a Rabbitohs fan as well.
Yes.
Is he?
Is he?
If you lose, at least he can punch the shit
Well,
out of
that's
everyone.
true. Yeah, well, he can go and fight for you.
Guaranteed if Bennett comes back in 2025, he brings Jais with him.
Yeah,
Plenty of them.
yeah.
Do you think, what do we think about that? Is that most likely in terms of, obviously Meninga is an interim coach, an IC.
Is he even who you'd want as an interim coach? Like, maybe he is. But
Well,
like,
what he can do is he can come in and almost be like, I know it's, you can joke about it. He was a cultural advisor at the Gold Coast Titans, and for a period there, they really did come out of the slums. I know they're struggling at the moment. I'm not
since
sure if
he's gone. No, he's gone.
He's gone now. I thought he was
fucked
going
off.
to.
He fucked off as soon
When
as
they
they
signed
did the whole
Desi,
book
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
I thought he came back, but if he's gone, then fuck, that says something.
Because they didn't let him know. He was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, without telling me. And so I think that he could be good because like, what you need is a big swinging dick to walk into that head office and be able to say, there's clearly different factions in that club. Clearly, because we saw the Sam Birch situation. He's put his hog on the table and say, is there any man here that can out-hog me? No?
The Mount Meninga. This was actually modelled on his shaft.
Yeah. Have you got a tripod? No.
It doesn't sound like
and
that.
this is what's
obviously.
gonna happen.
That's a metallic bottle, but you get the idea. Like,
It's a thud.
it's a thud.
It's a thick, true, pure thud. And so he gets his hog out and he says, can any man best me? No, they cannot. This is what's going to happen. And he can just, everyone get on board.
I think it's perfect as well because the obvious choice for me was, okay, they'll just bring up Ben Hornby. But if Mal Meninga comes, he's not going to blow up all the game plans and everything they've come up with in preseason. They're going to continue with that, and Ben Hornby's still going to do the same thing. He's just going to get the boys together, which is clearly what the problem is.
Ben Hornby, he is a good boy of boys. When I was at the Dragons, the boys got around him.
Is he considered next man up in the coaching ranks?
Well, as I said, I reckon even if Meninga comes, Hornby will basically be coaching the team anyway, just like Michael Hagan basically coached Queensland in that 8 series.
Well,
that's true.
let's not take away from the great Mal Meninga.
No, listen, we're not taking away from him. We are saying that coaching
Now
name
can't coach.
only. Yeah. Well, that is what we were
Look,
saying.
there's different definitions of coach. Like Wayne's just a boy of boys. He's not a technical guy.
No, he's not. Neither's Checker.
You're right.
He fucking
So
had a
Wayne
heap of
can't
success.
Well, you wouldn't
coach.
say.
So you're saying Wayne
I'm not,
can't
we're not,
coach.
I'm not sitting here.
Denon just said
I
Wayne
wasn't
can't
bagging
coach.
him. It was-
You're saying Wayne can't coach.
No, you said
I'm
Wayne
saying
can't
he
coach.
can coach.
No, you're saying he can't coach.
There's different forms of coaching.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Exactly. Mal
he can't-
Meninga is a boyer of boys.
Yeah, he's not a coach of rugby league.
A manager of men.
Yeah.
He's not an X's and O's whiteboard operator. There's nothing wrong with that.
He doesn't understand
But
the
he's,
game of
he's
rugby
still a
league.
good coach. That's a good coach still.
He's a good boyer of boys.
So do you reckon if he went,
I don't think, this is what I honestly think, genuinely.
Mal can't coach.
Unless
and
you've
you've proven you're a true honest man earlier in the
I
show.
am. To be considered a good quote-unquote coach in the NRL or in rugby league, you need to have coached in the NRL. Fucking 27 rounds, the brutality of the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like, you go on runs, you got to stem bleeding, you got to deal with the fucking media, you got to deal with all these like different competing fucking hogs, right? Trying to massage and work all these hogs over that many rounds. Whereas you come in for 3 games and just go, oi, Cam Smith, draw something up, baby, go out there and win for your state. Like, that's not the same thing.
You know,
Yeah,
Billy
oh,
Slater,
yeah,
you
for
come
sure,
in and
for
you start talking bush poetry, right? You start reading some.
All he does is sit out on his deck with a
Banjo
cup of
Patterson
tea and a
shit.
fucking and a banjo, and he writes, and then he gets in there and he recites it for the
No,
boys.
that's
They
a
love
fair
it.
point. Like being an NRL coach is very different to being an Origin
That's
coach.
exactly right. That's all I'm saying. And there's no disrespect to Mal. Mal's one of the greats.
Yeah.
Love Mal.
That's on the public record.
But I do
they're not the same thing.
Yeah, I do think though he's not coming in to be an NRL coach.
No, he's been an IC.
Yeah,
He's been a boy.
he's going in there to boy the boys, but also I think he's going in there with enough clout to be able to identify some people that have interests that align with themselves rather than what's best for the club, and go, mate, you either get on board or you get out, unless you can present to me a hog bigger than this.
He's all clout.
He's all clout.
He's all clout.
And he'll seed to a bigger shaft. We just haven't found one, and that's
Well, we were
that's
trying
the
to go
benefit
through
of
it
Mel.
yesterday. I think there's only three living immortals currently.
Wow. And you'd have to say he's hogged up out of the immortals left.
Well,
You'd have to say that.
but no, he's all presence. He's so big.
He is so big.
He's such a big man. Yeah, so look, it's a disaster.
And Joey's getting stalked, so he's out of the question.
The great Roo nearly got arrested for stalking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they thought it was fucking the Roo. But
It was fucking real. We thought it was someone. We thought it was a friend of ours who we called on the show, and he didn't answer. And we're like, "Fuck, he's been arrested."
Because he's been lurking around, following him around,
Yeah,
pretending like he knows him. So
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure.
Well,
But do you think Wayne will go back? Just to
here's
bow
the
that?
thing. Wayne has been relatively open about not wanting to not live. He wants to be close to his family in Brizzy and that.
Yeah, that's true. That's why he
So-
moved in the first place.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's a big reason why he went back.
But he's
to the
also like, I
Dolphins.
still want to coach. So if you still want to coach, there's no coaching jobs.
Well, I
for you.
guess
There's no coaching.
That's
But why wouldn't he stay with the Dolphins?
well, I think they've got an succession plan almost similar to the Rabbitohs to a degree, I guess.
As if Wayne Bennett said, "I want to stay," as if who the fuck else are you going to hire?
Yeah, I know, but it's a bit like
Bit
when,
disrespectful
you know
to,
when
like-
I don't. You guys may not remember this. This is a bit fucking. But when Jay Leno, the old fucking evening Tonight Show host, he retired after like 20 years. Conan O'Brien was like the late show guy, and
Yeah.
then so Conan came down to Jay Leno, and then Jay was like, "Actually, I want it back," and they fucked off Conan after like a couple episodes, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Conan?
Then Conan came back and
Then
dominated.
Conan came back and did his own show, and it was like
Better.
king.
Yeah. So look,
I think we fucking covered that, haven't we? We've bloody
Well done. Congratulations
South's
to us.
fucked. I
look,
think is the
I think
the
we've
takeaway.
come down to it that in all things in life, it comes down to the big hog.
Yep.
That's right. And you need someone to come in and put a bigger one down on the table.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Matt Burton is our Menu Hogs hungriest player. Menu Logs hungriest player. Use code Burton for free delivery. That's BURTON for free delivery. Also, LDV T60 Wade Egan's Performance is our LDV T60 Power Player of the Week. The LDV T60 has 160 kilowatts of grunt, which makes it one of the most powerful utes in its class.
Nice.
Now, boys,
I've got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
What's Matt Burton's highest bomb?
ooh, I would say 70 metres.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Really?
Yeah. It's very impressive.
That's fucking...
Eddie thought
it.
that
I get
Eddie-
rugby league.
Someone asked us how high do you reckon the highest
300
kick is?
metres or something?
No, 20.
No, I was like
He said
25.
25 metres. I was like, what are you talking about?
And then I thought about how like a 40-20. I'm like, that's not big.
20 metres in the air. It's like a chip kick.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
70 blew me away.
70's huge.
Well, I just imagined like
He
when
boots
you
the fuck out of it.
Well, I just imagined when I'm looking at a bomb.
Well, you...
How many did you drop? Did you drop quite a few?
No, that's actually one of my strengths is that I didn't really drop any.
Okay. You didn't play that many games, I guess. Yeah.
You say you didn't pass your skills on to your son, Matty, over there.
Oh, yeah, he can't.
He can't catch.
He can't catch.
Oh yeah, no, he
No, not Rain.
No, he
Rain
brought
didn't catch better
mate,
than
he brought
fucking
shame
Matty.
to the fucking whole
No, your
bloke
first
community.
son,
Yeah,
no.
no, he did.
He brought shame, and I almost had to
pathetic.
commit fucking seppuku or whatever.
Mate, it was arguably the worst performance of all time.
honestly,
He was dressed like an Abercrombie and Fitch model though as well. That's what it made it worse. Was like you aren't even dressed to impress.
I honestly almost had to commit seppuku in front of the rugby league community
Is that
to
a
get my honor
Shogun
back.
thing? I don't know what that
It's
is.
it's a samurai where they kill themselves to get
Oh
their
yeah,
honor
you
back.
stab yourself. In
I
your
think it's
wow.
seppuku. Could you check that?
just
say
phonetically, mate.
Samurai's honor killing, self-killing, honor suicide.
Just type it all in.
But yeah, I almost had to get on my knees and do that just to
Yeah.
get the honor back for a bloke. So
Yeah, seppuku.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, just quietly, Shogun, greatest fucking
Yeah, I've
movie
still
ever.
got to watch it.
Bro.
I
Great show
need
ever.
Ella to leave for like a week and just let me.
Why can't you just watch it by yourself at home?
Because she's like, I want to watch something together. I'm like, sweet. Like,
And then
we,
you
we
do
watch
give it
our
to what
shows
she
together. I
wants.
get it. It's not like we don't.
So,
watch.
so you succumb to what you think she's going to want to watch?
We have
Joint.
we have
Joint
we
shows.
have joint shows.
Joint shows.
What are you? Oh,
But then, like, if she's watching her show, maybe I'm fucking watching rugby league. Like
Rugby.
Friday nights or Thursday nights, I'm watching footy.
Yeah.
See, I
Sunday, she watches her own show. So it's
I take the
difficult.
reins with the wives. I choose what we watch because I'm usually pretty good.
You're a misogynist.
yeah.
That's also.
That's also you
yeah,
don't change nappies.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you
Mate, I watch.
Well, you don't watch movies.
No, I watch movies now because they're a bit older. They're a bit older, so they go down easier. When you're younger,
fuck.
listen, you'll work.
He
it out
watches
sometime.
POVs.
I've been watching movies and obviously
Yeah, because your wife does it all because you're a misogynist. We've established that.
Big
But-
POV guy.
No, I love POVs. No, what have I been watching recently? I actually haven't watched any shows recently. The last one I watched was, I watched a doco the other
Naughty
night about
Stepsisters?
those. No, I watched a doco about triplets. Triplets who fucking
New York or whatever.
Yeah, that was scat where they were separated at birth through some
So
scientific
weird.
experiment.
But they're so similar.
yeah, but that's because that was the whole thing was like nature or nurture, and it's like, well,
It's clearly fucking nature.
I'm watching the Nickelodeon sort of.
I thought
the
that wasn't
sicko
very
shit.
good. I
I-
started that and I was like,
I don't
this
like watching
feels
that
a
shit.
little bit like there might be obviously there's some shit to it. I'm not denying.
Oh
what-
no, there's heaps of shit. to
but
it.
that first episode, I was sitting there with Steph and we were like, this is like,
Man.
No,
this doesn't seem like
it's-
as bad
it-
as
mate,
it's
mate, it goes. There's like fucking pedos and shit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I hate watching
Yeah.
all that stuff because it's just like, man, I'm trying to be happy.
Didn't you fucking make your wife watch some?
No, we
fucked up
stopped watching
movie?
it because
Yeah,
we
but
didn't
you
realize how
picked
hectic it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that hectic. I
You
didn't.
said you're the man who
You
picks
pulled the
great shit.
misogynist card. You made her watch that fucked up show.
No, I fucking fuck me.
I know he's naughty. This thing.
Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
fly.
No, I fucking realized I made an error, which is very anti-misogyny, and I was like, you know what? I was wrong. And I flipped it off.
Yeah, but after you realise how fucked up it was.
Oh my god, that was so fucked. Literally, like the opening scenes is the most fuck shit you'll ever watch in your life.
Yeah.
No, I don't need that.
And so yeah, I try not to watch that stuff because I'm trying to be happy, baby.
I want
I'm trying
happy
to-
stuff.
No, I want
Yeah.
happiness.
Positivity, funny, giggles. You know what I mean? Get the
Tell you what I've been watching to like wind down.
What?
The last couple of Sunday nights, just take the edge off. Grand Designs.
Grand designs.
Yeah.
As in, like, what is that? Interior design? Is that? Car
It's like
design?
people build houses.
Oh,
like they're
yeah.
like,
That'll
I
take
want
the
to
edge
build
off.
some fucking,
You know
some-
what? Because he's nesting. He's about.
it's good.
Okay.
nesting.
Yeah, nesting.
He's a
Kids,
nester.
give him 24 months. Kid's gonna be
Kids
there
gonna
for
be fucking
sure.
nesting his ass.
No, I
off.
like it.
Yes.
I really like
here
it.
we go. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
official.
Very, very relaxing.
That's a
Nesting.
tell if I ever saw
nesting.
it. You know what I've been watching recently that's been really interesting? And obviously the Ned Brockman, he's the OG for us as Australians. I don't care if anyone's ever run before that, but for me,
No,
he's
no,
the
no.
OG.
Yeah. No one will ever run it again. Either.
No one ever ran before Ned Brockman. I
And the
don't care
people that
what
ran it
anyone tells me.
after him, did it count? No.
But he has inspired my viewing experience. Now I'm watching the vlogs that Russ Cook, the
Hardest Geezer.
But he has full on like high production value fucking vlogs from the get go.
So cunts are coming with him for the whole like.
Yeah, and you can
In a
watch
full
it.
team?
You can watch it like literally from before he even starts running, and it's like different camera angles, like vlogging the whole thing. And so I'm
Sick.
watching that. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Well,
Pretty
you
cool.
should get a Strava then, dude. If you're into running stuff now, you need a Strava.
I find that crazy that it's what 2024 is the first man to run or first human. to
Surely
run.
there was some person from actual Africa that just did it in the history of mankind. And you reckon?
Quite possibly every day.
I don't reckon.
They used to like walk the Silk Road and shit back in the day.
Yeah, they walk, but it's like running
Yeah.
from tip to tip. Someone's obviously walked greater distances, of course.
Yeah. So you reckon the running is the key?
and it's just every day.
I think I think it's the considered.
Yeah.
This point to this point.
Imagine if there's
Maybe I'm wrong.
some local
Of
that's
course.
like, fuck, my grandfather fucking did that.
There could be
50 years ago.
But
50 years ago.
did he have GoPros?
He didn't.
Sorry, bro, it didn't happen.
We caught it in 4K. Yeah, but the hardest geezer, I've been watching that. And if I'm being honest, like the Aussie in me, is like, fucking Ned would have that cunt.
Yeah, he'd eat it for brekkie.
Ned would have him. So, look, can we set up a race between Ned and the hardest geezer? Can we get that going? Look, and it's all love. It's all competitive love.
It's all
nothing
good,
serious.
dude.
It's all
But
like
it's-
maybe
but it's-
charity.
but-
KO, get involved.
Yeah, listen, it's sort of the ashes of running though, right?
It's the ashes of running.
It is the Ashes. Runs a Ranger as well, like Ranger.
Maybe they run to the ashes from
There's-
someone.
Tommy Ranger, and then we
Let's
got a
be
nice
honest.
police blonde Aussie.
Ned eats him up.
Ned's not losing to a ranger.
No,
Ned eats him up for breakfast.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Let's
100%.
like
Ned shelves that Ranger.
look.
big
I'm
time.
a big fan of the hardest geezer.
Puts you
It was
on the
great,
shelf.
incredible what he did, but Ned eats him for breakfast.
That's all we're saying.
That's all I'm
Calls him
saying.
up.
That's all we're saying.
Ned gets in his head. By day 30 or 40, it's game over.
Tell you what though, fuck, running every day for a year,
Mate,
is
it's actually
no
fucking amazing.
joke.
he got
incredible.
That's psycho.
Bro, he got fucking robbed. There was
got-
fucking tigers and shit.
They dragged him in. They dragged him into this group. I'm looking for the right term here. Took him into the forest with a machete and
Yeah,
shit.
he couldn't get into Algeria. I
Crazy.
think. Algeria.
He had to run around the country.
Well, he had to get permission. So basically, spoiler alert, but this is just the start of the journey. So he was supposed to run from the top to the bottom. And you only get this if you're fucking watching The Hardest Geezer. So I think it's Russ Cook on YouTube. He was initially supposed to run from the top to bottom, which is, it's not easy to do, but it's easier to organise because obviously from Europe you can get all your shit there, card and that. But he couldn't get a visa for Algeria. I'm pretty sure it's Algeria. And so what they go, well, fuck, we're like, that's nearly at the start of the journey, like not right at the start. So what we'll do is we'll go all the way to the bottom and run from the bottom, and hopefully by the time they get to Algeria, anyway, so they're getting to Algeria. Still, it's been like fucking 8 months or some shit. It goes for nearly a year, and they get to Algeria. They still haven't got it, and he was like, "Well, we're stuffed. I can't get through Algeria. Like, there's no way for me to get because they can't go through other countries because they're too war torn, like too hectic." Anyway, so he tweets the president. And the president goes, yeah, sweet, you're good to go.
Wow.
So he gets through by tweeting the fucking prime minister or president of Algeria or whatever. But even when he gets in there, he gets like pulled over by the army and that, and they redirect him and drive him to the border. And it's a full drama. It's like, so it's a fucking super.
How good's that?
So yes, it was Algeria, and the embassy of Algeria in UK tweeted, "Hi, Hardest Geezer, please submit your visa application from where you are located. Our missions will grant you a courtesy visa on the spot." On the spot.
There you go.
But when he got in there, though, the actual army, which is dealing with like hectic shit. So like people try to like talk negative about the army. It's like when you're in a war, you're not going, oh, how good a fucking dude's come running through our country. You're going, who the fuck's this guy?
Who's this ranger?
Anyway, so they get in there and they kept trying to tell him, no, the president has said we can, and they're like, fuck off like basically, fucking, you're kidding yourself. So they treat like the fact that the geezer is saying the president said I can. It sounds so absurd. The army's sitting there going, there's something dodgy about this dude. And so it's a really good watch. Now, with all that said, Ned eats him up.
Eats him.
Chews him up, spits him out.
So let's organise the Ashes of racing.
That's it. Well,
of mental toughness.
Of mental toughness.
The Ashes of mental toughness, and the finish line can be at the Ashes as we obviously win the Ashes.
Yeah. Correct. Well said.
Could you imagine that? They run onto the Ashes field as Paddy Cummins is just fucking...
Well, yeah, but Ned would be...
Onto the Ashes field.
Onto
the Ashes field, yep.
Ned would be like, 6 weeks ahead of him, though? So it'd only be Ned there.
Yeah, that'd actually be a bit bad TV. You know what? We'll just reality TV it and just say, Ned, can you just stand there for 6 weeks and then run in together and beat him in a sprint?
Yeah. I like that.
Which he'd crush him.
Or you could just get them to both like do a plank. It's like, all right, who's can plank? And just get something where
you got to get him a run.
Get him to sit there and plank and just see. Brockman did like a fucking 3-hour plank the other day. I saw it. Now, not 3 hours, but he was doing it with Josh, and it was just absurd how long he was planking for.
I would love to be in a idea session with the great Nedwood Brockman of like trying to come up with obscure weird shit that's really hard to do.
He's got one coming up.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's fucking pretty.
We've signed NDAs. We can't say
we can't say.
No, we have.
NDA'd out of our
non-disclosure agreement.
But, like, for example, clearly Ned's going to continue to do this for the next decade. What is he going to, in 10 years, is he going to, like, fucking run to Mars or something?
Possibly.
Well,
on a treadmill in a spaceship?
There is, if you look it up, there is, I think from the bottom of Africa, you can run basically via land all the way to the edge of Russia. Maybe Ned will do that.
Whoa.
How far is it to Mars? Just as a...
Maybe he just runs on a treadmill to Mars. I guess like
that's what I mean.
Years, and he just stays on a treadmill.
Just cover the distance of to Mars.
To Mars, it'd be, I don't know how many.
Elon, reach out. If you want Ned to run to Mars, let us know.
Spot on about the Russia. So South Africa to Russia, 22,000 kilometres.
Yeah, so just do that. I know just do that. I think to the sun's 150 million kilometres.
Well,
so
no, that's tough.
To Mars, it'd be what? 50, 60
million.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty easy.
Just to guess.
225 million
There you go,
kilometres.
225.
Okay. Just tick over. It's all about cadence.
Yeah, exactly. You get into a rhythm.
Pretty easy.
Actually, I had a question for you, boys. When I go on running, whenever I run, I usually go roughly the same route. And every single time I run this, it's not always the same route, but I always end up on at the end at the same. And every time I run through a dick drawn in the cement on the ground, I laugh. And I wanted to know, when will dicks being drawn on things become not funny?
Never.
That's funny forever.
Well, it'll be funny until, the robots eat us.
That's it, yeah, until we cease to be like, humans, until like singularity when dicks aren't required.
So it's a requirement-based humor, like
Well,
because we
almost-
need it. It's funny.
Once dicks aren't required and no one has dicks anymore, and then eventually, like, there'll be a point where you forget they even existed. They'll be resigned to the history books.
Like those old school dicks and shit.
Yeah, remember what the hell they had fucking hanging between their legs.
And they honoured them and worshipped them.
Yeah, they
And laughed every time they saw one drawn in things.
Yeah.
But it is a universal bloke calling sign, is it? The dick drawn in stuff.
Yeah, bro. We've got one drawn on our whiteboard in the office. Cody,
Big
Cody
veiny
tote
fucker.
bag.
Did he draw that?
Yeah, it's a shark.
It's a pretty good one.
penis, and then it's got a shark's tail and a fin. Veiny as all fuck. And I'm like, where'd that come from?
Did he
Cody?
just draw that?
Just drew it. Starting to feel more comfortable in his own skin around the office. You know, I like.
Jarge draws penises quite
Willie B drew cocks on everything growing up. Underneath the dining room table, on every dinosaur toy we had, they all had penises.
Is he a good drawer of a phallus?
He can draw a dick. Yeah, he can draw one.
Veins and that?
Of course.
Throwing a bit of custard?
Yeah, of course. For his 18th birthday, I may have told this. I've told this in our podcast. For his 18th birthday, my mum and her friend made Will a dick cake because he used to draw dicks on so much shit. And like veins and fucking pubes and stuff. And I've come home and I'm like, they're in the kitchen like laughing, giggling away, making this big fucking penis. And I'm like, I'm just sort of inspecting it. And I get round to the knob and I'm like, why's that thing got two pee holes? Smarties. They put two. And I'm like, why's that thing got two pee holes? And my mum's like, oh, what, don't you have two pee holes? I'm like, excuse me, mother? What? She's like, what, don't you have two pee holes? I'm like, what the fuck's going on with dad's dick? What the? Two pee holes? No, we don't have two pee holes, you psychopath. Give me one of those Smarties.
I need to take one away.
Yeah, I'm going to have to remove a Smartie.
In school, I got this mate, Ethan, who borrowed a book, like a handwriting book, off another mate, Daniel Hahn, to copy his business studies homework. So we did him a favor, right? And then when he gave the book back after copying the homework, Daniel opened the book and there was just a little penis in the top corner. And then he turned the page and then there was a penis in the top corner, but it was a little bit bigger page. And then eventually on the last page was just a huge veiny penis, like graphically veiny penis that was waving at him and said, thanks for letting me copy your homework.
Oh, that's
a bit of an
very
artiste.
cute. That's very cute.
That's good
That's
stuff.
extremely impressive.
That's good stuff.
Okay. Speaking of getting flaccid, Schuster told he can look elsewhere.
Yeah. This is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, you couldn't have seen this coming. The only thing that, as the story develops, is it's a developing story.
Well,
it's developed.
It's still developing. It's not
much like the penis in that book. It's developing. It's growing and changing. When this first came across our desk, we were just thinking about the money. We've just he hasn't even started that $800,000 contract yet, technically. I think it starts next year. So that's good. So we were sort of thinking about the money, thinking about the bickies, thinking about the cash, thinking about what we could spend it on. And then it changed to, apparently we wrote in like a weight loss clause in there into his contract or something. And like, if he doesn't lose a certain amount of weight, then the contract is void.
And you know what? Part of me is like, you almost didn't want to write that in because legally,
well, yeah, but I
get
mean,
real messy.
Yeah, but if you're a fucking, listen, firstly, I don't know if that's true or not. Secondly, I hope he's all good, Schuster, you know what I mean? But like, if you're having to write that into a contract for $800,000, like maybe you don't write a contract for $800,000.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly
that
what you mean.
shouldn't be in. You shouldn't be signing a guy on $800,000.
You shouldn't.
You've got to write a fat contract.
You shouldn't need to. You shouldn't. It should be, oh, this guy, if I'm paying this money, he turns up and he works his fucking ass off.
And from, again, I think this is on, they were saying this on 360 last night, but like preseason he was good and he was adhering to the weight contract, but then he got chickenpox, broke his hand, fucking soft-ish. And then now he's not fucking underweight. And so they're hoping that is the way to get around paying him all this money. But I'm like, fuck, if he's had all these injuries and shit, like that's not going to be that easy.
That is like a PR nightmare, for one. But two, if he wants to challenge it, it'd be very messy in court.
Yes,
very
mate.
messy.
Is that what they're hanging their hat on here?
I don't know if any
clause
of this shit's
of
true,
that
dude.
Was that reported in a paper?
That was
reported on
yarns?
360.
Okay.
That seems fragile as fuck to me. We were saying yesterday when the news came across our desk that, and you don't know that there's these fragile clauses in there that, may not, stand up to
the rigors of cross-examination.
We were sort of saying and sort of pleading to Manly, next time you want to just start handing out cash, give some to your old mates Tom and Eddy.
Hey, how you doing?
We're over here.
Mouths
I'll
open.
take 800 a year, baby.
We're like those clowns at the Easter show, bro.
Put the balls in my mouth.
Would you
Money
get
balls.
To, would you
that
get
up.
to six-pack City with that kind of cash?
Yeah, dude. If someone's
Cunt.
saying I'll give you
If
800
someone
grand
said
a
you
year,
get 800 grand, you got to be cut to shit by the end of the year.
it would be the easiest fucking thing
Mate.
in the world.
Are you kidding me? I'd look like Arnie, bro.
Yeah, I'd be juicing, but like I would definitely be able to.
Oh,
do
I wouldn't
it.
have a no juice clause because
No, I
I'd need
wouldn't.
help.
Yeah.
Look, I think that obviously Schuster needs to take responsibility. He probably has for his performance, the way he's playing. So that's all granted. You know, he has not lived up to what he should be. But I got to say, like, the decision to re-sign him when he wasn't even eligible to speak to other clubs, he was barely in the first grade side. It's got to be one of the worst administration decisions I've seen in the last few years.
It's probably the worst signing I've ever seen.
Like-
for the money.
Yeah, like if it was a 300 or 400 grand, okay, fair enough, and all the potential he has, absolutely. I just could not, for the life of me, even when it happened, understand what pressure was mounted that was genuine pressure, and also even if there was pressure, you need to stand strong as a club and say, mate, see you later then. Like we're offering you 800 grand. Like we're not offering you unders to try and win a premiership. We're offering you a massive wicket.
And we were saying yesterday, what does someone pay Josh Schuster from reserve grade? Let's say that the fragile clause doesn't stand up to cross-examination and Manly's in for 800 a year here. What's a club paying a reserve grade of 300?
A forward like that, okay, a forward
With what he can do, has the potential to
with
do.
his potential, it's a tough one because it's like, because he's been so he's had an inability to get to that potential again, and he's not training as hard, all that kind of stuff. But like, if you had a rookie that was like a boom back rower 6 coming out of high school, even though that he's not in that position because he's played a good year of first grade, you're looking at about your 300, 400K, I reckon. Like, for example, Jack Howarth, he's reportedly on 500K, and he hasn't played that much first grade, but he's a boom back rower, one of the best in the...
But you're buying off potential there, right?
Yeah.
Without any hiccups.
Dramas and
You've
that.
got hiccups here.
Yeah. And also, I think...
Can't get rid of him.
I think
You're
also...
doing handstands, trying to swallow water and shit, holding your breath.
Also, Howarth is like... At any other club, he probably has already played quite a few NRL games, but because Storm are so stringent, like, unless you meet these criteria, you're not going to,
Well, apparently Galvin is on the minimum this year, 250 next year, and 350 the year after.
But he wasn't like a boom guy coming out of high school, you know what I mean?
Did
Whereas
he play
Schuster-
for Australia?
But like, contracts that are like 300-400 grand for a guy like Schuster is pretty, I'd say, reasonable coming out of school because of the potential was so high. Like it's truly like whatever you wanted. But again, to re-sign a bloke that had been struggling on and off the field for at least a year up to that point, when they weren't even eligible to talk to anyone, it's outrageous.
He hasn't had a good season since he played back row
21.
outside Kiriforan.
2021?
That was it. 2021.
Yep.
But so in this situation though, you're going, all right, well, you want to get rid of him because he's paying 800 and you don't want him anymore, but he's playing reserve grade. You're getting rid of him 6 months into a 3-year deal or 4-year deal. Obviously, there's fucking issues. I'm paying you fuck all is what I'm paying you.
No one's going to pick that up. Like, I think the most the club would pay for him right now is probably 300. Probably 300. Now, then the Manly have to chuck in 500.
500,
which is
500
massive.
over 4 years, 2 million. Again, hands up over here. Next time you go to just fucking throw money away, give it to your old mates.
Give it to us, dude. We will put it to
Who's done
good
more
use.
for the club than us?
Listen, you
Maybe
could
Beaver.
You could argue
Maybe.
Beaver, maybe. That's it, and that's you're probably just trying to placate a legend there. It's really us, like fucking hell. I mean, what do you do if you're Josh Schuster? And I'm not saying you are, Denon, just so everyone knows. But if you are, if you're advising,
I'm going to pretend to be.
You
Josh
pretend to be Josh
you're
Schuster.
his manager, but you're not a manager who's also got their mouth open. You're a good bloke manager, right? This is bloke management. We're all trying to expand here. This is bloke management. This is your first. What are you saying?
So pretend to be a good bloke.
Yeah, so pretend. What
That's
are you
going to be
doing?
hard for me. That's going to be fucking
because
hard.
you're cunt.
Mate, I'm saying take unders I'm saying you go to one of the clubs with the most stringent, best development systems that you can possibly find. I'm saying we push as much as we can to get Manly to pay some of it. But if you expect to be on 800 grand for the next few years, I guess I'd say, Josh, you got two options here. You can dig your heels in, and you can earn 800 grand till 2027, or you've got your footy career in this hand. What do you want to do? Do you just want to get the money? If so, I'll back you into that. I don't, that's your decision because you signed it. They gave it to you. There's nothing. If you want to have a good NRL career, then you need to look aside from the money and go, you know what? Get what we can, but I need to be at a club that's going to make me the best person I can be, and that's what I'd be doing. And it would be going to clubs like Melbourne. It'd be going to clubs like Penrith and saying, I'm willing to come on minimum.
So then, is there not also obviously we've already criticised Manly for not giving us the money, but like, is it also then a criticism of the coaching at Manly that you can't get this guy to, or if you're saying go to a club where they can get the best out of you, where they're strict and all this sort of shit, like, does that in some way reflect poorly on Manly's ability to get this kid fucking six-pack city?
The jury is still out on Seibold and whether he's an NRL coach. I know he had that one good year at the Rabbitohs.
Jury's out.
It was 1 year. So the question still remains, like, is Anthony Seibold an NRL coach?
Jury's still not back from recess.
It's still, it's at recess, and it's been a few hours.
Well, it's almost similar to Schuster himself, one good year.
Yeah, fair.
The jury's been out on recess since he arrived.
Yeah, and so, like, look, they don't have to be, like, mutually exclusive. Like, it could just be one player that isn't reacting well to Schuster, but there's 29 other players that are reacting really well. Yeah. Sorry, not to Schuster, to Seibold. But there's 29 other players that are reacting really well. Like, I'd argue Tommy looks a freeze. He's looked in a long time. Brooks has been outstanding. So
the rescue dog.
The rescue dog. Ben Jurovic, I think, has been quite solid. He had one or two games that were a bit quiet.
Pasek has been immense.
Nathan
Corey
Brown.
Waddell coming in.
Nathan Brown.
Nathan Brown.
So in Seibold's defence, like, yes, that was a big error, and yes, Schuster's not responding, but that could be a Schuster thing. That might not be a Seibold thing.
Another round of applause to Nathan Brown.
He's just immense.
He's playing career best footy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he was just honey-dicked for so many years about, you can go to Manly now, you can go to Manly now. Well, that's all he ever wanted.
Yeah.
That's all he ever wanted. He was kept in that shithole for too long. Yeah.
What, the Roosters or the Eels?
Yeah, Roosters and the Eels.
And the Roosters. Yeah, fuck the Roosters too. They've fallen apart at the seams. Robbo can't coach, we all know.
But yeah, look, the main focus is like, Schuster needs to get mentally right. Clearly, he is not mentally happy in what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, like, he can sort that out from a purely human perspective. Hopefully, Schuster can sort out the mental.
How old would he be now? 20?
Maybe like 21.
21, 22.
He's so young.
He's 22.
So
young as shit.
He's got time to
Plenty
turn
of
it
time.
around, but like, fuck.
Okay. Don't forget, grilled. Every time your team wins, you get a free grilled burger the Monday after the game. Head to show notes to sign up to take advantage of the 2-for-1 burger deal. And Musashi, the Dolphins being on top of the table, are Musashi's early season edge. Use code BLOKE35 to get 35% off Musashi products, excluding bundles.
I haven't signed up to the grilled thing yet, purely a mistake on my own part, but it's worth acknowledging that I would have been fucking housing burgers on Monday because Manly beat the Premiers, 3-time Premiers. You just didn't bring that up at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to bring this up, which would be happy for you boys. Mosh, bounce back. Manly are our Mosh bounce back this week when they beat the Panthers after going down to the Dragons. Join over 30,000 other guys in Mosh Hair Regrowth family and get $50 off your first treatment plan with Bloke in a Bar. All one word, Bloke in a Bar at checkout. Manly are our bounce back team of the week. There you go.
Thank you for acknowledging our existence, Denon. We've only had to beat Rabbitohs when they were good, round one. Roosters, who everyone
When they were
sucks
good.
off and everyone reckons they're the best club of all time. And Penrith Panthers, who have a great winning record without Nathan Cleary.
Well, they've got the best fullback in the game in Dylan Edwards after Tommy. They've got the Golden Boot, current Golden Boot winner and New Zealand captain. They've got fucking Jerome Luai, Origin
Pungo,
6,
Taruva,
May
May.
of elegant and understated neck tat fame.
Jerome Luai, huge pack.
Manly had a
Isaiah,
touch of death about him. Because they beat Rabbits when everyone thought they were good. They beat Roosters and thought they were good. Those two teams are struggling.
We're fucking premiership heavies, dude.
You know what?
That's why.
We're entering our
Premiership window.
premiership window. Now the window's open.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
We're gonna sneak in.
And just a big fuck you to Girdler. Because
Friend of the show, but
we're no longer flat track bullies now, bro. We beat the biggest and the best.
yeah.
Okay.
And when we knock over the Warriors this weekend, everyone starts to pay attention.
Yeah,
but
everyone's
I'm loving the disrespect put on Manly's name because I get beautiful, big, thick, juicy odds.
Do you think that the disrespect is granted when they lost to the Dragons, though?
Manly 13.
No, dude. The Dragons are a
Manly
boating side. They make everyone play shit. Like the
But we
Dragons
always
are a
lose.
shit
But we
side.
let's just put out just acknowledge the simple truth. Manly always lose to the Dragons at Wynn Stadium on
On
Easter long
Easter.
weekend. It is what it is. I've made my peace with it.
Yeah.
But $13 was paying like $7 on the weekend for Manly. So yes, please.
13 plus.
$2.60 this week against the Warriors. I mean, give me a break.
You want to bet for your life.
Head to head, I have the Wars, but
No.
13 plus, I think it's value $7.75.
Tell you what's
For
value.
Manly.
13 plus, Tommy 2 plus, you're getting $35. Get fucked.
Get
35
fucked.
Australian rugby league dollars.
All right, Newcastle versus Roosters. Who you got?
Go Manly. Sorry.
I
Roosters win this. Knights are
Knights.
such... Dude.
Knights get the job done.
are so shit.
think Knights.
Knights get the
Roosters
job done.
are value.
Value missing
Roosters
all
lose-
the players.
Yeah, but the Roosters always said they are missing players. They've got so many good players that when they're missing players, they're not really missing players. They're missing Teddy and they're missing Dom Young. They're missing Sam Walker. That sounds like a lot, and it is. But when fucking Joey Manu's at fullback, so whoops, we've got a former Golden Boot winner at fullback.
Yeah.
You've got fucking Luke Keary, 3-time premiership winner, Origin player.
Hot boy Watson.
Hot boy Watson in at 6, but like
So fuckable.
But now you've got like Roosters seem to be good when they've got like when either Keary or Walker are playing by themselves.
But I don't
Bit
think the
more
Roosters
dominance.
are that good.
They're not, but neither are the Knights. That's my point.
I think the Knights might be finding themselves.
No way, dude. I don't believe in the Knights one iota.
Eat, pray, love kind of stuff.
You don't believe in them one iota?
With Hot boy KP at the back.
I love Hot Boy
You
KP.
don't think Kalen Ponga's got that in him?
Kalen Ponga is a phenomenal rugby league footballer.
He's
I
made of the
don't-
right stuff.
I do not believe in the Newcastle Knights, who are still, I think, feeling the effects of sniffing their own fluffs from 2023.
But the team's the same, minus
That's
the Dom Young.
exactly my point. They're high on the effects of their own supply from 2023.
Dom Yum. Dom Yum.
Mate, they beat.
Oh, he's yum, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, I think they'll win. The Knights.
Okay. Storm, doggies.
Storm.
I'm going Storm.
Humping-
Broncos,
humping
Dolphins.
en route.
Legler out, Ricky's in.
I think the Broncos will win, but I think it might be quite tight.
Okay.
Bronx.
Bronx. Warriors, Manly.
Manly.
And going
262, we're blowing out.
Warriors
What
head to
is
head.
doing?
Eels, Cowboys.
Cows.
I don't know why the line I saw the other day was it might have changed, but yesterday it was 3.5, which I thought was outrageous because the Eels stink without Mitch Moses.
Yeah, I know, but there's like the Cows record at combat.
They don't have Mitch
shit.
Moses
I know,
though.
I know.
They
Question.
don't have their only good player.
I got a question for you, Denon, and I know that obviously you're a fence sitter of note, but Dylan Brown, great player, right? Great player, but like, is he overrated or is Mitch Moses underrated? Like Dylan Brown's inability to steer the team around when he's the lead guy.
First of all, that's an outrageous comment.
I'm
Dylan
asking.
Brown.
It's not a comment. I'm questioning. It's a question.
Okay, so we always fall into this trap of like, if you can play 6, you must be able to play 7. They're different positions. He's a out and out 6 at this stage in his career. It's like a front rower going, well, he must be able to play 13.
Got a question then. Can I just have just a little question? And I would love to hear more about this. But so even if you had him playing 6, say, if you just kept him in the 6 jersey,
He's unbelievable.
Should he still be the dominant ball player in a team when Mitch Moses is not there and he is in the 6? Should he be leading the team around, or is it like
I don't think he's
find
ready. I don't
someone
think
else?
he's ready for that at the moment.
Okay.
He's what 24 max, I think.
Crazy how
23,
young he
24.
is, but like he's been around. For
And
a
I
while.
think it's actually I spoke about this on the captain's run yesterday. I think
I didn't listen.
Sorry.
23.
Listen. He's 23. I think Eels roster management since the grand final hasn't been great. The fact that they don't have just a battler 7 ready to put in that 7 jersey when Mitchell Moses is injured, it's just poor roster management. Like you look at the Broncos, they've got Jock Madden, they've got a couple other guys that can play 7. You look at Penrith, they've got Schneider. A lot of the better clubs, and Eels, they like to consider themselves a better club. The fact they don't have a good battler 7 that's like New South Wales or Queensland Cup standard just to go in. Like, look at Aiden Caesar. He kicks well and he makes his tackle.
They need a job doer.
They need a job doer.
Can I ask another question?
Yo.
This is not, and this isn't like exactly the same here, but like when the Broncos are playing and Reynolds is out, Jock Madden comes in, but Ezra, like even against the Storm, Ezra stepped the fuck up and like started playing some football.
But what were all his tries though?
No, of course they were like it was sort of broken play or like
what he's good at.
But he's still stepping up.
Yeah, like he's stepping up with a Billy Walters who is a 7, who can play 7. You know what I mean? Like Dylan Brown can't step up if he is partnered with a rookie. He's partnered with Talangi. He's like not even a 6 really. He's a fullback. Like if you get a battler 7 in there that is a good New South Wales, Queensland Cup, that can just get him around the park, Dylan Brown kills it.
So then, Dylan Brown not a 7 yet in your estimation.
No.
So you take Cowboys -3.5.
So you basically it's like the Eels are playing as well as you, not like as well, but like they're kind of not surprisingly poor because Dylan Brown
their
can't play 7.
Their defense is surprisingly poor. Their attack I expect would be a bit clunky because you look at their 9 role, which hasn't been cemented. He's at Lussick. He's had a couple good games, but his service wasn't that great.
Is it
They've got
hands?
You don't really know long term. You look at the 7 jersey. They tried to put Brown in there. They've got Talangi, who's a rookie. He plays fullback, I'm pretty sure, for New South Wales Cup. Debuted at centre. Like they got Strange, who's clearly not ready for first grade because otherwise he would have been put in that 7 jersey. Also Strange. I think it's Strange. No, it's Sanders. I think he's on the move to the Raiders, maybe. Not sure about that. So, I just think it's poor roster management. I just don't think they have... You've got these key positions that you should have at least one good, solid backup in that they just haven't, and they need it.
Yeah, window's closed.
Slam shot.
South Sydney versus Sharkies.
Sharks 13+.
I'm going Sharkies.
Yeah, I am as well. But this like, is there do the Rabbitohs do anything ever? Like, is there a point where they just turn anything around slightly, or is
Why
this
would it be
just,
this week?
Well, I don't know. Only because the
like
Sharks.
Honestly, 10 weeks ago.
There's almost
Mate,
just,
last
a bit of like, if anyone's gonna do it,
week
the
was the
Sharks,
week.
maybe.
Last week was the week. They had all the boys. They obviously didn't have fucking the 7, but they got pumped 30-6 or 30.
Honestly, like last year, midway through that lull was the time, you know?
I'm just like, dude, if you guys get fucked up this weekend, my goodness gracious.
I don't know if they'll get dominated, but I do think the Sharks get the job done.
13+.
We'll see. Tigers versus the Dragons.
DMC Bowl.
I'm going Dragons.
I've got no idea.
No, you just pick try scorers, dude. Fuck this. No one's winning.
I actually have zero
First
idea.
game ever that no one wins.
When these two teams play, no
Well,
one
I said
wins.
Golden Point. So that's what I'm going to go with.
So a draw. You're just going to
I'm
go.
going to have a draw. No one gets it done.
Olam Sully. That's it.
Nil or draw. Raiders versus Titans.
Raiders.
Jeez, the Titans. Like, what happened?
Zach Hosking 450 anytime.
Oh, that's juicy. That's juicy. I like
is.
that.
That's get a big boy spoon out and pound that.
Yeah.
I tell you who's funny to follow. Clarkey, RL Column, just the most downtrodden Titans fan. Like I haven't seen anything for a couple of weeks, but after they lost like 30-0 to the Dogs, he put up some like post being like, I don't know how much longer I can take this, and it was just
Oh, he's given up.
so funny.
He's basically given up. Right?
Well, he's sort of indicated he might be.
Devastating.
All right, that's done and dusted. Make sure to grab some Good Day. Grab a case of bloke beer from your local Celebrations IGA, Bottle-O, Liquor Legends, all the good independent liquor stores. And as usual, we'll go and fuck ourselves. Thank you.
Bye.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.